You guys. As you can see, our crew is entering that capsule in descending order. Evan Dick in seat number 6, Cameron Bess in seat number 5, Lane Bess in seat number 4, Dylan Taylor in seat number 3, Laura Shepard Churchley in seat number 2, and Michael Strahan in seat number 1. And in fact, while they're getting situated in the crew capsule, let's take a closer look at today's third human flight crew, fittingly dubbed again the Original Six.
The moment that I decided that I would be willing to go was here.
You can see Jeff Bezos realize the dream he's had since a child.
Watching Jeff and Mark Bezos completely changed my mind. It was amazing, and I had never experienced anything like that.
My father was the first American in space, Alan Shepard, and I kind of feel a little bit like I'm following in my father's footsteps.
I was attracted to it from a very, very young age, a lifelong dream to actually go to space. I'm a big believer in the power of space to transform.
I've wanted to spend my entire career in aerospace, and I didn't get the opportunity to do that. So now I'm just late in my life getting the opportunity to be a part of it.
When it became real, I went to the family. I said, "Who wants to go?" And the only person that raised their hand was Cameron. We weren't thinking so much about it being first father and child as much as the opportunity to experience it together.
I just want to see the Earth from that perspective and understand how small of a part we are of something so large.
I'm doing this because I think the pioneering nature of this is important. We need people who are going to actually demonstrate the way forward, because I think it's a necessary step in the next evolution for humanity.
It's certainly an honor to be one of the first LGBTQ+ people in space. You know, I'm no hero. I didn't really work to go to space, but I do think that the visibility that I'm providing for that community is valuable.
I'm very excited and incredibly grateful to be going up into space.
Part of me wants to go because it's something I thought I would never want to do.
I just feel like he's right here with me. And I can't be more excited than I've ever been in my whole life.
Wow, I mean, that video gave me goosebumps. It's such, clearly, I mean, evident from the video, it's such a unique shared experience for the crew. The bonds they form down here in West Texas will last a lifetime. I know Dylan tweeted the other day, they have great crew glue. They're an awesome crew, really tight. And at this point, they're in each of their seats, and Kevin, our crew member 7, is helping them into the capsule. He's getting them situated into their seats. We can see all the smiling astronauts through these big windows. Laura, what exactly is Kevin doing right now? What are these final touches before hatch closure?
Yeah, so right now they're going through a very critical set of steps. So for the astronauts, crew member 7 is helping them perform a final seat verification. They're ensuring the harnesses are fitted and secured. All while the astronauts pretty soon will start their comm checks with Capcom back in mission control. And over in mission control, they're doing a few other things. They're doing bits on the ECLA system, so environmental control and life support system. So busy in mission control, as well as down at out there also at the tower. We have our tower crew, a few more members of the launch crew that are performing the final vehicle closeouts. So when 7 and the tower crew and mission control are all ready, they will move into closure of the hatch, as well as checking the integrity of the seal on that hatch.
A lot going on right now in these final moments before hatch closure. Getting some great shots here from the camera crew. Just saw Laura Shepard Churchley looking very comfortable, very excited in her seat. There we see Evan Bess through the window. Great shot right there. Cameron, Bess, and Evan Dick. There we see them. And another important thing we're able to see through the windows right now here is that escape motor right in the center of the RSS First Step capsule. Laura, can you tell us a little bit more about that escape motor?
Yeah, so like you said, the escape motor, you can see it in the center there. It's a solid rocket motor, and that would be used in the case of an emergency. It's a pusher system, so essentially the capsule can push away from the booster if something were to happen with the booster. And one of the really important things about our escape system is we call it a full envelope escape. So essentially, in just a few moments here, in about 10 minutes, the capsule will go escape enabled, and it will have that capability all the way from on the pad up until the moment of separation.
The RSS First Step. Let's get started with the comm check. Astronaut Stray, how do you read me?
Stray is good.
Copy. Astronaut Weezer. Copy. Astronaut Taylor, how do you read me? Copy. Astronaut Bess, how do you read?
Bess is fantastic.
Copy. Astronaut Meeps, how do you read? Copy. Astronaut Dick, how do you read? Copy all. All right, astronauts, we are at T-minus 24 minutes and counting. As we proceed, I'll do my best to keep you updated. For now, just sit back and relax.
Thank you for joining us for our third human flight. You just heard a great comms check with our capsule communicator, Sarah Knight, and our full crew of 6 astronauts, Laura Shepard Churchley, Dylan Taylor, Evan Dick, Lane Bess, Cameron Bess, and the one and only Michael Strahan. It's so fun to say 6 names. It's a lot more. And they're all loaded into the RSS First Step, awaiting their life-changing flight to space and back.
Yeah, and just one thing you mentioned there, Jackie, RSS. So RSS First Step, our vehicle, that RSS means reusable spaceship. So this capsule itself has already gone to space 4 times. This will be its 5th flight today. And reusability, like RSS, that's a pretty new terminology, you know, in the aerospace world for rockets. But reusability is an underlying philosophy here at Blue. It's fundamental to ultimately reducing the cost of access to space. So right now, each of the New Shepard vehicles can fly up to 25 times with minimal refurbishment in between those flights. And soon we hope that that number is closer to 100.
It always amazes me, the robustness of the New Shepard system. We're currently awaiting closure of that hatch on the RSS First Step.
All right, and there is our founder. It's official. Their hatch is closed. So let's toss it over to Capcom.
Control, as you can see, the hatch is closed. We're now going to check to make sure it's sealed up nice and tight.
I bet you some of the boxes are probably right now. tightly to seat O-ring. Push in under, rotate clockwise, 3 or 4 turns. Push again. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open manual tank isolation valve. Opening. Open. Ready for leak check.
Welcome back. We're just under T-minus 20 minutes until launch. Laura, the hatch is closed. Tower crew is running their final closeouts before they get off the tower. In addition to the 6 flying on board today, our amazing original 6, the spirit of another legendary explorer is going up as well in today's rocket.
That's right. So a one-of-a-kind pendant paying tribute to Star Trek's Leonard Nimoy will be on board. So this represents a message that he strongly believed in for each of us to live a long and healthy life with a vision of peace, tolerance, and unity. So a special thank you to his daughter, Julie Nimoy, for the pendant and for sharing his inspiring words.
Such a special Star Trek story here.
Right, we had Captain Kirk, and now we have Mr. Spock. I just love it.
That's right. And I actually also love Leonard Nimoy and maybe a lesser-known science fiction show, Fringe, Dr. William Bell. So any Fringe fans out there, we love Leonard Nimoy.
All right, let's take a quick breather, and when we come back, we are going to have a very special message for our crew from Capcom Sarah Knights.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us for third human flight, our original 6, our 6 astronauts are on board. The hatch is closed, and we're just awaiting that special message from our Capcom Sarah Knights, our capsule communicator. So stand by.
right, so we entered a brief hold here. We have the tower crew and crew member 7 that are just closing out the last of their procedures. So tower crew, they've done a number of important things here in the last moment up on the vehicle itself. So they've installed the last of the thermal control system. They've pulled some of the RBFs, or removed before flight, from the ECLA system that we talked about. The hatch is closed, sealed. They're taking out the final pins for the escape system, and it will be pretty soon that they are done up there on the tower and will be heading to their fallback location.
First up, Blue Control. As you heard, your crew member 7 and tower will be departing shortly. You'll see them cleaning up and eventually descending the stairs. While we're waiting, I have a note from you from our previous New Shepard crew. I'll begin with a message from William Shatner. Dear fellow half-astronauts, you're in great hands today, and only wonderful things will happen. You've survived the biggest test of all, 11 flights of stairs up the gantry at 4,000 feet altitude. I don't know about you, but I was exhausted for the rest of the trip. Good luck, but you don't need it. Fondly, Bill Shatner. This is from Chris Bosshausen. Dear New Shepard 19 crew, congratulations on joining the small but growing community of humans who have journeyed beyond the Kármán line, who've seen the deep of space and the brilliance of Earth from that unique vantage point. The flight will be over before you know it, but the impact will be with you for the rest of your life. Don't forget to take a moment and really look, and bring back one favorite thing to share with the rest of us, waiting breathlessly for you and your safe return. Safe travels, my friends. Astronaut Crispy. This is from Leah, Glenn DeVries' partner. Dear astronauts, you have all dreamed of sitting in this seat, and it marks only the beginning of a profound new chapter. This journey's impact stretches far beyond the timeline of this mission. When Glenn fulfilled his lifelong dream of traveling to space, he came back with a new appreciation for our planet. I hope when you arrive home, you too will take this experience and curiosity to help solve the problems here on Earth. Quote, through new innovation, new technology, and a new outlook on the unity of the planet, together we can build a future. Glenn. We love you to space and back. Safe travels, team. Leah. And finally, from Audrey Powers. In spite of my best efforts, I was unable to get any of you to trade places today. So, I'll be in the next best place, watching you with great excitement from just down the road with Blue Origin team who makes these flights possible. I wish everyone could experience what you're about to, and I'll simply say, in honor of my good friend Glenn DeVries, who lived every moment to the fullest, stay in this moment. Hold on to it after you land for as long as you can, and then share it. Share it far and wide. I wish you Godspeed, New Shepard 19, and it's my great honor to welcome you to the Blue Origin family. Astronaut Audrey Powers. I want to thank the snake bites and the anti-venom for their messages today. And for now, sit back and relax, Original 6, and I'll keep you updated as we move forward.
What special and amazing messages. And actually, Chris and Leah, and of course, Audrey Powers, are all here with us in West Texas. So I think that makes this mission 10 times more special.
Yeah, absolutely. Just so amazing to hear those words. And it's becoming a sort of tradition here at Blue, and really nice to see that community of Blue Origin astronauts starting to take shape and growing launch by launch.
Yeah, the camaraderie across crews is really, it's been amazing. We're going to be out of this hold here very shortly, so with that, let's stand by. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, our crew of 6 are on board New Shepard. The hatch is closed and we've cleared that hold. I've also just heard from Mission Control that New Shepard is officially escape enabled. If you're following along on the bottom of your screen, Laura, what is the significance of this moment?
Yeah, this is a very important moment in Mission Control, and as a former capsule controller, certainly one of my favorite moments of the whole mission. So they have just done a go poll. The flight director would have polled all of the relevant positions that need to be ready for escape enabled. We've gone through the bits. Essentially, the capsule at this point is ready to fly. And we mentioned before, we have this capability, the escape capability, essentially from now until separation. So the whole time, if anything were to happen to the booster, the capsule can safely make its way into the landing zone.
Very exciting. So many go polls. Again, that was the go poll for escape enabled. We're just currently awaiting that go, no go polling for launch. With that, let's toss it to the rocket while we stand by for Mission Control. Thanks for joining, everyone. We're just waiting for that go, no go poll, so let's listen in.
Copy. Break. We are no go on the dashboard. Stand by for status.
Thanks for joining us for our third human flight. As a reminder, in case anyone forgot, we have a crew of 6 on board. Laura Shepard Churchley, Dylan Taylor,
Capsule.
Evan Dick.
Go. Booster. Go. Ground. Go. Safety. Capcom. Engineering. Go. This is the flight director. New Shepard is go for launch. Booster, commence the terminal count. Local flight.
As you have just heard, we are go for launch for our third human flight. We are so excited for this crew. Let's just take a quick moment and take in the sights and sounds from Launch Site 1 down here in West Texas. We are just about T-minus 8 minutes and 30 seconds until liftoff. Okay, we are just under T-minus 8 minutes until our third human flight. We have Laura Shepard Churchley, Michael Strahan, Dylan Taylor, Evan Dick, and the first ever parent-child duo to fly to space together, Lane and Cameron Best. They are on the capsule. They're harnessed in. The hatch is closed. I'm so excited for this crew. Laura, can you give us a little insight into today's flight profile?
Yes, absolutely. We're getting very close to this. I'm going to start us at T-minus 2.5 minutes. So that's when we enter into auto sequence, and the flight controllers at that point are essentially hands off. So we'll have the engine ignition at T0, followed by a throttle up, and then the liftoff actually occurs at T+7 seconds. So then just 1 minute after that liftoff, we will hit max Q, so that's the maximum dynamic pressure, and the stresses, the aerodynamic stresses are the highest on the vehicle at that point. Then a bit after 2 minutes, we'll have main engine cutoff, or MECO, and at that point, everybody is in zero gravity, essentially, free floating, and very soon after that, the separation of the capsule from the booster. So those vehicles will head up toward their apogee, and we'll follow the booster down because it is going to re-enter more quickly. So as we re-enter, we'll get the forward wedge fins that deploy. The aft fins are steering the vehicle back down to the landing pad, which is only about 2 miles away from the launch pad. Then we have our drag brakes deploy. The engine will restart. We'll hover over the landing pad, and then we will have booster touchdown. So back to the capsule, which is re-entering slower due to its blunt shape. The rocket itself is much more aerodynamic. So the capsule, after the booster has landed, the first thing visually that we are going to see on the video is those drogues deploying. So the drogues come out, they slow down the capsule just enough so that the mains can deploy. They'll deploy in a reefed configuration, and just a few seconds later, they will disreef and open up to their full surface area. At that point, the landing systems are going to engage, so we'll be measuring the height off from the ground. And just as we are above the ground, we will fire our terminal decelerator system. You'll see a poof of dust from those retro thrusters, and we will have capsule touchdown.
Yep, and those retro thrusters do kick up some dust, but they allow for a very soft landing for our crew. All right, we're just under T-minus 5 minutes until liftoff of third human flight. Things are getting real for our 6 astronauts on top of that live rocket. Laura, what's happening in mission control? We're under 5 minutes away.
Yeah, so just a moment ago, as we heard, the flight director will have conducted that final go poll, the go for terminal count and launch. And I can tell you, like, I can feel the energy all the way from over here. It's just in mission control at this time, like, really, you could hear a pin drop. Just the team is amazing. They've trained for this, and here they are in the moment. So the capsule controller will have already completed the preparations, essentially ready to fly as they sit there right now in ready to escape mode. The booster controller is still fairly busy though. So some of the things that booster is doing, switching to internal power, doing a final alignment of the navigation systems, arming the engine igniters. Then we have our ground controller who's monitoring the winds and weather, the propellant systems, the ground side of the propellant systems, the rest of the ground support equipment. We have Inco monitoring the RF systems, and this is all while all of the folks that we have in our engineering back room are monitoring all the important vehicle status, things like propellant conditioning. So in just a moment, we will watch the rocket go through its bit checks when we hit auto sequence. So those are the built-in tests, and some of the things that are happening there are invisible to our eyes, but some of them we'll actually get to see the actuated components moving around.
So much going on with just minutes left to lift off. We're actually under 4 minutes, just about T-minus 3 minutes until launch. We understand from capsule communicator, all 6 astronauts are ready to go. Let's watch and listen as New Shepard is about to go through those final checks that Laura just mentioned and rev up for 3rd human flight.
Okay, we are in our auto sequence. As you can see here, the bridge is retracting to its flight configuration. At this time, we're also going to be pressurizing the tanks.
And of course, our crew is seeing, hearing, and feeling all of this on board the capsule.
Yes, absolutely.
There's Michael Strahan on the left, looking great.
I think a smile.
I see a smile, yeah.
So we should have our bit checks that'll be coming up next. All right, there we go with the aft fins. Down here at the base of the rocket, they help to direct the vehicle on ascent and descent, so commanding a profile there and making sure that it's tracking. Lucky. We can also see the engine nozzle here gimbaling. The engine will help to maneuver the rocket as well, especially right there before landing.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are 30 seconds. It is time to launch this rocket. Godspeed, New Shepard. Godspeed, the original 6. Thank you so much for joining us.
Seconds, guidance internal. Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, command engine start, 2, 1,
Shepard has cleared the tower and is on its way to space. We can hear it here from the desk. If you're following along with us, you can see on the lower left side of your screen that we're gaining speed as New Shepard lifts off towards space with a full capsule of 6 humans for the very first time. Noticing that altitude bar also on the bottom of screen? We are climbing fast. We've punched through max Q. That is the point where the aerodynamic stress on the New Shepard booster is at its maximum. Our original 6 are getting the ride of their lives right now. Look at that beautiful BE3 engine in action. Coming up next here in under a minute is going to be main engine cutoff, where we cut off that BE3, and you'll be able to visually see that on the screen here shortly. And there we see it, main engine cutoff of the BE3.
We see the CCRCS thrusters firing, and we have confirmed separation. All right, so capsule booster separated. Capcom Serenites will momentarily cue the astronauts to unbuckle their harnesses and start floating around the capsule.
They are in 0G, they've practiced for this, and now it's really happening.
Doing this, guys. Oh, check this out. Oh my God. Just let go and just go up. Oh my God. Oh my God. I got a ball here. Oh my God. I've never seen anything like this. I got my shot. Mission 19. All right. Yeah. There you go. Coming back this way is good. Make sure you know where your seat is. Mission 19. The original set. The original set. Give me that camera. You got your seat.
1 minute warning. 1 minute warning.
Well, huge congratulations to all 6 crew. They have crossed that Kármán line and they became official astronauts. Outstanding. As you can see, we have 2 distinct vehicles in the screen now. Both the crew capsule and the booster are descending. It was so amazing to hear from such an excited crew.
I just love hearing their real reactions, real time. It is just awesome.
That energy walking up the tower definitely translated into space.
look at you. Wow.
As you can see, the forward fins on the New Shepard booster have deployed. That booster is on its way back to Earth first.
So those fins, when they deploy, they help to shift that center of pressure so that we have just the right aerodynamic characteristics that we want for that rocket to come in a very stable way.
Engine restart on that BE-3 confirmed. Altitude dropping fast. Sonic boom here in the studio. Hear that? Feel that for sure. That beautiful booster hover. And booster touchdown. Welcome back, New Shepard. Thank you so much again for joining us for our third human flight. We just landed the booster. The show is not over. Here we see our crew capsule on final descent back to the West Texas desert. Let's wait for that now. Look at that booster on the pad, all in a day's work for the workhorse of this operation.
All right, and there go the drogue parachutes. That's a beautiful sight, slowing down the capsule. And there we go, the drogues lifting out the main parachutes. Looks like we have 3 beautiful parachutes there in their reef configuration. And the release, the disreef, there we go. 3 beautiful main parachutes.
And on your screen, you're seeing that velocity and altitude dropping.
So while these parachutes are obviously essential in providing a gentle touchdown for the crew capsule, New Shepard also has an innovative retro thrust system. So that's on the bottom of the capsule, and that will make touchdown even smoother for the astronauts flying today.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. Where's my phone? I'm going to take a picture. We did it. We did it.
Yay! 1,000 feet and we're on the ground. Oh, my gosh. What a blast.
I see our shadow, actually. I can see the chute with the shadow.
We can hear audio from a very excited crew on their way back to Earth.
Right,
what a beautiful day in West Texas.
What a great view through those big windows there.
Stand by touchdown. Stand by touchdown.
So keep in mind here, there we go. Retro thrust and touchdown. All right, that is
Cheering all around from the crew. I think it is safe to say that the word touchdown has a new meaning for Michael Strahan today.
Jackie, you are right.
There we have it, looking like a completely successful third human flight. That audio from the crew, so exciting. We also, if you couldn't hear it from the audio, we just double confirmed with mission control that all 6 astronauts have landed back safely and are doing great. So at this point, our team is going to
audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary audio circuit for the Reuters live service. This is the primary